gets berated on the podcast we've created to commemorate action flicks, big horror, no tricks. John Travolta, Chuck Norris, insane clown posse, no fuss, no mercy, we discuss. Everything gets berated, no one is underrated. From the screen to the stage, except a new cage. No mercy, we engage.
Welcome to Everything Gets Berated, where we talk about everything other than indie horror. And
you should sing that like our song. Everything gets berated. In the podcast we create. See, you should come in hot like that, dude. Like,
yeah,
dude. Sorry, cutting you off. Hopefully this guy hears it. There's this guy that's blowing up on my Instagram recently. And I mean, he's been famous, I guess, for a while, but his name is Alex the Terrible. Holy shit. That guy is a beast, man. Like, he has he does the hard rock, heavy metal hard rock, and he does the scream singing.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit, dude. Like, he'll just take this microphone away in the middle of his concert, be like, and goes off. You're just like, holy hell, how does that guy do that? Dude, he's a beast, but if he could sing our opening song, good
That'd be
man.
Awesome.
That would be pretty messed up.
Dude, anyways. But, all right, who are you?
Right. Oh, I'm Amferny.
And what is up, everybody? I am Brian with a B. And with us this evening is, I don't even know what to call this dude, like a resident berater.
He's resident status.
He's got resident status. He is known as Kane.
All right.
And don't even come in and say hello or anything.
Well, hi. I think my mic is low, but...
Your mic has nothing to do with it. Just talk normal, handsome.
I am.
Yep. How's your day?
It was good. How was yours?
Fantastic. How was school?
Good.
Fantastic. You ready to berate a movie with us?
All right, let's get to it.
Yeah, so today the movie we're doing is my choice. Snow White and the Seven Samurai.
Samurai. Yes. Okay. So, like, before we dive into exactly what this is, like, Brian, you might remember this. Kane, you're a little young. So you remember those shows that were on in like the early 2000s that would, like, the syndicated shows that would show in the middle of the day, because it started with like Hercules and Xena. Oh, yeah.
And then they had like VIP. And,
damn it, I think I already know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, and like like Space Girls from Time or whatever, like stupid concept they had, and they could pump out 20 episodes and do it super cheap, and it was all on a set that they were using for something else.
Right, you're like, that's the same set from Dawson's Creek.
Yeah,
why is Xena Princess Warrior fighting at his house?
But that's what this movie reminded me of. It was an attempt to recreate an early 2000s TV show, because like every like girl is hot, but
I mean,
like they're like models.
I mean,
ish.
All right.
They're part-time models.
I mean,
Depending on how you say it.
Yeah, no, I get that. I got that. But it had a bunch of like named people in there. Well, I don't want to say a bunch.
Eric Roberts,
right? Eric Roberts, and then I wasn't even paying
Rampage.
attention. I wasn't even reading the intro. Like the first time, like we watched the movie, I think twice. And the first time I wasn't paying attention. I just was watching. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, is that Rampage Jackson?
Yeah, that's Quinton Rampage Jackson.
Dude.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell? So that was super stoked to see that guy in there. And then even after that, I made Kane sit and watch like a 10-minute reel of every single finish that Rampage has done in his fighting career. From Pride to UFC, everything. So we just watched Rampage after this movie just destroy people. And I was like, could you imagine if he did that to one of the 7 samurais? That would have been hilarious. Like, yes. So,
samurai.
He kind of did in the last part of the movie.
Yeah.
Kind of.
So we start out, like I thought it was a really good way how she got her name and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. Like
but
her dad is a drug dealer, so who does primarily cocaine. So she is Snow White.
Yes, that was cool how they got that name. But it was also, if you're a big time cocaine dealer, is that just something you like? Do you have a business card?
Yeah, like how does everyone know?
Like, hey, what are you doing this weekend? You want to buy a bunch of kilos from me? Here you go.
Like, what? Haley's dad can get you some bumps,
right?
Like,
could you imagine? It's like, yo, go over there and get Haley's dad's number because I know he's got the stuff that's not cut. Yeah.
Sure. Like, oh my god, yeah. But no, that whole opening scene, like this movie, the best compliment I can give this movie is it is so efficient. Like you get this opening scene, the things happen that we cut immediately to the will reading.
Oh no, man! There's some funny things that happened before that. Kane, did you have something to say?
My first note that I took was actually, why is it making a kids show into violence and language? Like,
because that's
like
how
Snow
we
White
get down.
Is for cocaine. Like, come on.
There it is.
Well, because when we were kids, we had Snow White. We had the animated version.
I was about to say, damn, Anthony, you had a hardcore kid growing up. I had Snow White every day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
No, not Snow White.
That's why I could run a 2.5-minute mile.
A train.
Dude. So there's 2 things I'd love to point out, okay? During that opening scene, when somebody breaks into his house,
yes,
he has that nice box on his desk that he opens up and there's a gun. So he doesn't even like try to hide the gun like in a drawer or anything like that. So that was pretty I guess if you want to let people know that you're down for business, then that's where you keep your gun, right? And then oh, sorry, what?
I didn't even notice that. I was like, oh, they probably pulled it out from somewhere, or it was like just that. But yeah, I didn't even put that in my notes. But
no, and then Eric Roberts is
sorry, I was going to say. So go ahead.
No, and so then Eric Roberts, he, when there's actors that play roles so great that's what they are for the rest of your life. Like Tobey Maguire, he had some issues trying to get roles in Hollywood because everybody was just thinking of him as Spider-Man because how awesome he did.
Yeah.
It's nothing bad, but it's just how awesome he did at being Spider-Man that's what it was. So Eric Roberts, I love him ever since I was a kid and Best of the Best came out. The best movie. I still watch that movie. And, I showed Kane that movie a while ago. And it still brings a tear to my eye every single time freaking Dahan brings his medal over to Tommy and gives it to him. But during that scene when Eric got shot in the stomach, and he's like, I'm okay. Only thing I could see in my mind was switching back over pop it, Tommy, pop it, Tommy, from getting the jump axe kick. And I was like, oh, he's going to say it. And then he didn't, And then it cut to, I thought that, with as many famous people were in there already, I just assumed that the lawyer was Hal from from Malcolm in the Middle.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah, so the lawyer actually, I don't know if you remember this, Brian, was the director from That's a Wrap.
That's a wrap.
Yeah. I watched that I watched that with Garrett, my bad. But yeah, so what is it? They have the whole conversation about how like she's like, everybody at school calls me Snow White because you deal cocaine. And can you just not do that anymore?
Right? And he's like, do you see this gigantic, like, that as many times they showed that house? Holy shit. No. Whose house is that? Like, goddamn.
Probably one of the producers.
Dude, what if that's Eric Roberts' house?
It probably is.
Dude. Damn. But yeah.
But, you know, this is an asylum movie, so I guarantee you this entire movie took place in that office building, park area, and that house. And those are the only two sets.
Dude, every time I saw that house, it was just beautiful, man. Super. Yeah. Kane.
So, yeah,
the house.
Yeah.
I only saw the front of it until like the last half of it. Yeah, I'm like, at the last half of it, I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Then it goes to the reading of the will, and he has all these random people there, and then later on in the movie, you find out that those are his drug dealing partners. And he's like,
those are the other three pillars of the four.
Yeah, he's like, I'll give you $1 million, and they're just like, yes, they're all happy. You're just like, I'm pretty sure $1 million in a gigantic cocaine ring.
It's like
that's like 15 minutes of work.
That's walking around money. Like
that's exactly walking around money. You need some shoes, you know, and that's
J's?
Probably why
I get you some J's.
That's probably why freaking. And then I don't mean to do this one, but Snow White looks so confused throughout the entire movie.
Yes.
She had that look on her face like, what? And you're just like
well, to me, she kind of looked like Amanda Seyfried. She was in a bunch of movies in the early 2000s. I think she was in Jennifer's Body. But like, if they had like, tricked Amanda Seyfried into being into the movie, she's like, what? Where am I?
She's like, what? You gotta do this. Like, it's like before they're just like, hey, you know, like me and you, every time you start, I'm just like, oh yeah, and then tried to confuse you. Like the other one's like, and action. Somebody's like, where's my goddamn broccoli? She's like, what the hell? Who's the one about broccoli? Anyways, line. She would do it.
Yeah. She would look like she was about 15 seconds behind everybody.
She's like, what the hell am I doing? Wait, so I'm Snow White? Okay.
Yeah.
Where am I acting?
Oh, wait. Okay. Yeah. I'm Snow White, and these are the 7 assassins. Got it. Cool.
My dad's dead.
My dad's dead? Okay.
All right.
Got it. Yeah.
There's no broccoli anywhere, though.
I put down my notes that the mom got $20 million, just so you know, from the will, and everybody else got $1 million, and the daughter got the rest of the fortune, and the mom's got so mad because she's a gold digger, obviously. Like, we all know that because she got mad.
Kind of hint at that, yeah.
Call it like you see it, Kane.
Because the Snow White makes that insinuation. She's like, any good gold digger wouldn't be obvious about it. Like,
well, it's like $20 million. If all of a sudden I was like, Anthony, dude, I'm sorry, man, I quit. I'll give you $20 million. Would you be like, fuck you, Brian?
No.
Or would you be like, you know what? Thanks, bro. Because guess what?
Hell yeah.
On top of that $20 million, they never mention, like, there's so many times in the movie that you're just like, why did Snow White just go home? Like, if my parents owned that house, they would have to get police to get me out of that house.
Well, yeah, because at that point, technically, her name would be on the deed, right?
I would get married and have 18 kids and live in that house. My parents would be like, Brian, you're 45 years old. You need to move out. I'd be like, no, I don't. I'll move to the like East Wing, and you guys can have the other 80,000 square feet, and I'll have this piece of shit 10,000 square feet. Like, you know what I'm saying? If my parents own that, I'd be like, okay, I guess I'll build another 20,000 square foot house in your backyard then. Like, that's your house. Yeah. Go back to it.
But,
you know?
That
What?
other girl was there that was trying
The
to
mom?
Quinn,
yeah.
yeah.
The stepmom,
Yeah.
yeah. The evil.
And then-
So yeah, so at this point, yeah, they've introduced the evil stepmother. Sorry, I was just trying to get everybody caught up. Snow White, and we're about to meet the huntsman. But go ahead.
See, I didn't even know. Like, I was waiting for the sisters because isn't there supposed to be sister? No, that's Cinderella.
That's Cinderella.
Never mind. What the hell was I thinking? I'm sitting there like, where are the stepsisters? Nah, completely mix those two up in a little bit.
Yeah.
Now it's starting to make a little bit more sense to me. What the fuck was I thinking? But I'd like to point out. Sorry, what?
You know what I noticed throughout the entire movie?
That I'm amazing.
I noticed that they kept switching back and forth because of the 7 samurais. At the beginning, it was 6, and Snow White was the 7th one. Then there was 7, and then Snow White, and then it was 7, 8, 7. 6, 7, 7, 6, 7.
Yeah, Kane and I kept trying to count them and everything like that, and I still don't know who the 7 people were.
Well, yeah,
because then,
So go ahead.
At the end
sorry.
of the movie, there were 8.
Well, I mean, we can't jump all the way ahead yet, but yeah, like towards the end of the movie, Kane is very OCD, and he's like, okay, so one person was here, one person was here, one person was here, and then 4 people show up, and then that girl shows up. You're just like, wait a second. Now there's these. But when they were doing, we could talk about it in a second, but there was those scenes where they're doing the montages, you know, and that we kept trying to figure out who the 7 were, and stuff like that, but we couldn't do it. But
yeah, I didn't really keep track of the number. I was more so like, are they going to do like character types that are supposed to be like the dwarves? And they... but the thing is, for me, like, I didn't remember who half the dwarves were. I remember Bashful. They did Bashful.
There's I don't give a shit about any of them.
Yeah, there's that.
But no, they wanted 7 of them.
Yeah, they did Bashful, and she basically like walks in the room. She's holding her arm.
Well, isn't there like grumpy, sleepy, sneezy, dopey?
Yeah.
Methed out. Kane. So we break to.
Oh yeah.
What do you call it? We break to the mother-in-law talking about, hey, we're going to get rid of this girl, right? And so then it goes to there's a fight scene. The very first fight scene, I guess, in the movie, the girl goes over and kicks that guy's duffel bag, and the guy instantly woke up and chose violence that morning, just started swinging at her. And you're like, what the hell? You even ask a question like, hey, did you see me here? He just started swinging at her, and then he ended up getting his ass whooped, and then she freaking slit his throat. And you're like, what the hell? Like, what just happened?
Yeah. But then,
you know,
that's super confusing because then they give the rules later. It's like, so you just choose to murder people, and then like, oh, but we have rules.
Yeah.
Like,
and they started talking about, what do you call it? So then she tells Rampage to go kill the lawyer and the other person. And Kane loved that dude's car. but you would, excuse me, you would think that as a multi-millionaire drug lord lawyer, that you would afford something nicer than a Kia Soul.
Yeah, but he's the drug lawyer with a heart of gold.
But he's the smart one because he doesn't flaunt it.
Yeah.
You see?
If we're going to be in a criminal organization, don't be obvious about it.
You know what else?
What up?
What's up?
So I realized that mostly everybody in the movie has the same color scheme of the car. Like the Kia Soul and Rampage's Charger, they both have the same color scheme, which was really weird.
Hey, that's how they just roll.
Back to
That wasn't
first fight scene. Back to the first fight scene. When how do you know that that's not the officer trying to chase down somebody else?
what if it's undercover? And then you just beat up an undercover.
Yeah, you just beat up an undercover cop and now you're wanted for assault.
Yeah. And then Rampage, he does do the double pop. He does do the double pop on the lawyer, which was good for him, you know. Yes. And then he ends Snow White, but then that girl's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" He's like, and then he runs away.
Yeah.
And you're like, "What the hell? You just murked up 2 people." But then somebody's like,
"Job."
Yeah, like you could have been like, "Oh, nothing to see here."
Because we see him later, and he like throws a girl into a girl, and he's got like this Hulk strength. Like, dude, you can't stay and fight.
That's what I told him. And
odd decision.
That's what I'm saying. After this movie, like Kane, he hasn't seen Rampage fight, and so I was like, Kane's like, "Dad, it's 9:30 at night. My bedtime's at 8:00. Can I go to bed?" I was like, "No, goddammit. You're watching fucking Rampage highlights for the next 20 minutes.
That's true.
I was like, "You're not going to school tomorrow either." And I made him sit there all day long and watch Rampage highlights, So what was also funny is he goes back and he's like, "Okay,
she's dead.
She's dead." And she's like, the mom's like, "This seems kind of weird that there's nothing else." And he pulls out fucking, what was that? A minimum $250,000 cash.
He's got a few.
He's like, "Okay, I got this from him." It's like, "Okay, just keep it then." So if you have $250,000 cash on you, that's your walking around money. Buy a fucking Ford Explorer decked out. That's only $50,000.
Yeah.
Don't buy a Kia Soul. I mean, but again, maybe he's being smart. Kane would think about all that grip, all that cheese that he had in his pocket.
You know what I think with that Kia Soul?
He was trying to riz himself up, bruh.
You know what I thought with that Kia Soul?
You loved it?
You can unpimp my ride.
Dude.
Some rusted out wheels, some fog lights.
Right? We should do that. We just open up a store that's like, "Hey, are you an illegal drug dealer and you need your car to look more like low key? Come to us." And then we'll just put like, I don't know, Ford Probe tires on it. Throw dirt on it. Scratch the paint. And the cops are like, "Are you sure we're looking for this guy? Have you seen his car? There's no way he makes minimum wage."
It's junky. My God.
Some 32s on a Lambo.
Yeah, they'll be like, "Are you sure this guy doesn't live in a trailer?" And so then when I was really impressed, and I don't know if you caught this or not, but Anya, Snow White, she actually has Wolverine blood in her because after he stabbed her twice in the spine, like literally the next day, like it's almost healed.
Yeah.
You're like, "Oh, it's almost there." And she's like, "All right, let's get up." And then Kane, do you remember watching it? And she's like, "You need to feed you so you get more energy." She's like, "Oh, it hurts." She's like, "Okay, I'll go get something else then. I'll get some soup." And you're like, "What?" And then if I was like, "Anthony, I have food poisoning," and you're just like, "Well, I got you a burrito." I'll be like, "No, I have food poisoning." "Okay, I'll go get you a sandwich." No, bitch.
It's still food.
Eat. Yeah.
She even so she was laying down and then she got up like she was perfectly fine. She sat down on the couch and ate it, even though once she got like barely an inch, she was like, "Oh, this hurts."
Can you imagine if you came from a family where it's like $1 billion dinners? If you're just like, "Brian, I'm sick," I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna go get you some Taco Bell." You're just like, "Can I have caviar?" I'm like, "What, Anthony? Like, what the hell?" No. If you're just like, "I want some soup," we're like, "All right, I got some Progressive soup." You're just like, "No, like I want some Panera bread soup." I'd be like, "Anthony, what the hell? Who you think I am?"
Yeah, really.
Motherfucking Eric Roberts?
Also, at the meeting of the 4 pillars.
Oh yeah.
When she was talking about this random person that I still don't know, named Joseph. The girl on the left side of the table, it sounded like she said Joseph.
Oh yeah, because she's got that weird accent.
Yeah.
Right?
She sounds like she's like part of the Third Reich. It sounds like a Nazi accent, like.
Dude. And then like to point out again, that every bad guy there, they're ruining it for me, man. They're ruining my life. They all had the freaking Green Lantern rings.
Oh yeah,
I was like,
pillars.
no, the Green Lantern is a good guy. Damn it, it's still real to me.
The first thing of like the black and white things. The black and white, not black and white, like the old scene of something. I'm like, why don't you just show it normally? Like there's just weird circle around
the flashbacks.
Which, okay, in fairness,
like, what the heck is this?
You don't need like a filter, because if Eric Roberts is dead at this point, and every scene we're showing is Eric Roberts, then obviously this is a flashback.
But at the same time, how long do you think this movie was?
87 minutes.
No, I meant like 5 days.
Like
her montage.
Her
montage. Like I told Kane during the movie, and we'll talk about the montage in a little bit. I was like, Kane, I have fought since I was 9 years old. Was my first time taking like training. You know, this girl, her montage was like 4 hours, and look at how good she got. I was like, Kane, you got a lot of fucking shoes to fill, bro. Like you got to learn judo, jujitsu, Tong Sudo, Hapkido, Muay Thai. You got all this shit.
Which I like when I was watching that part, it was like, I am curious to see what Brian says about the technique here.
Nope.
It's garbage, right?
We'll get to it. We'll get to that shit. But then it shows, so at the beginning of the movie, when they're reading the will, there are those people. And then finally it shows that all those 4 pillars are together talking about getting ready to assassinate Anya anyways.
Oh yeah, that's who
start thinking
is. He's their assassin.
Oh, so that piece of shit.
Everybody has an assassin. I don't
like
understand.
It looked like they went to Fisher Price, My First Assassin, and got that guy.
It's like I kill the guy, I get the money, I go home.
No, like could they find job. God damn it. There's no way, man. So
it's
God
like
damn it, Anthony, you fucking nailed that one.
If Kevin Malone was an assassin, like
God damn it, almost, except with luscious hair. So, but it goes back where they were all planning on murdering Anya anyways, or assassinating her, and then you realize you're just like, dude, this guy has billions of dollars potentially, and he's going to give you guys $1 million to go legit. No, it's not really that big of a deal.
Yeah, really.
You know what's funny is I was thinking like, okay, $1 million to the stepdaughter, and then to the stepdaughter. Then who's that third person who gets $1 million? That's when I got confused. But then, on a side note, did you notice that on the desk they all had those same green lamp desks that every single movie has?
Yes. But I think this is where they filmed in the office park. Sorry, go ahead, Kane.
You know what I noticed? So all of the Onimusha were wearing black, and all of a sudden the leader comes in with this red dress that's inappropriately worn.
Kane was looking at some bosoms, and I'm going to tell his mom. It's like Kane was looking at this Giat, babe. And then Kane's going to get grounded, everybody. So message us if you don't want Kane to get grounded, or message us how long Kane should be grounded for looking at a Giat.
Follow so I cannot be grounded, and also follow so my dad can get brain surgery to get rid of all the brain rot.
So here's a question for you, Anthony, and I guess for you, Kane. So there's this scene in that movie where she walks in and her dad is just fucking that dude up. Sorry, beating that guy up really bad.
Yeah, ends up murdering the guy. Yeah.
And the dad's like, oh, he, tried to break in and hurt us, and this had to be something that's done. Okay, Amferny first. Have you ever seen your dad do that? And if not, what would you do?
I would freak out because somebody
like
just got
if you
murdered.
Saw your dad,
body.
Well, I don't think she saw him murder him. She just beat him. Like, if you saw your dad give somebody the most deliberate ass whooping you've ever seen anybody get handed, what would you do? And then if he's like, Anthony, did you do the dishes yet? Would you be like, nope, I'm going to do it right now.
I'm about to go do those dishes because I don't want to end up like him. Yeah,
exactly. Did you mow the yard today?
Nobody wants to end up like him, Anthony.
No, nobody does.
Kane, if you came home from school and you saw me whooping this person's ass right there.
You see, I would do this thing called leaving the house.
It happens all the time.
Yeah, but
come home, it'd be a normal Tuesday.
I think what they're trying to make this seem like is this is a common occurrence that he's fighting off hitmen and like, oh, just had to take out the garbage.
Don't worry about me.
He wasn't breaking a sweat after he did that. He was just like his face was not red. He wasn't breaking a sweat. But what I would do is I would go up to my room and.
That's good. That's a good answer.
I would immediately start doing the dishes.
When I was your age and I saw my dad do this.
Now we're getting the real inside story.
I was your age.
Right, here it is. Here's the murder after 43 years or something. But so, and then
this is gonna be on Max.
Good
later.
job with the memory of the Onimusha.
Yes.
So then we get the story of Onimusha.
Yes.
And those girls look pretty young, and they're just like, we're from Japan, and when our husbands would leave, and you're just like, we'd have to protect the house. You're just like, okay, first off, all you guys are blonde-haired, blue-eyed women. Yes. So I doubt that you lived in Japan. And then when was the last time Japan was in a war where their husbands had to leave and they had to protect the house?
That's the thing is I had a question about that, but I don't know enough history to be like, wait, that's wrong because of this. You know, I don't.
Well, when was the last time they had a war? You know what I'm saying?
Many centuries ago.
Okay. All right. And then
I believe if we're talking about that, then that would be like Genghis Khan was the one that kind of brought peace to everything.
What?
No, well, at least maybe my history is wrong, but
I've seen Mulan. What the fuck?
He's the one who united the samurai because there was that tradition where like the samurai, you had all those different like factions or clans of samurai, and they would collect heads. And so he was the first guy to be like, hey, wait, instead of us fighting each other, why don't we all like work together and then fight?
Are you sure you're not talking about fucking Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift?
I am not.
Oh.
I could be
That's
wrong.
Kane's favorite movie. Every night before bed, he's like, Dad, I was like, do you want me to read to you? And he's like, no, let me watch 10 minutes of Tokyo Drift. And I was like, all right, son, I love you. And then he goes to bed.
That was my favorite character.
So, and then it's so funny because then like clockwork, it just so happens that it's the biggest shipment in like history or the year or something, you know, and that's just what it is. It's the shipment. The shipment's coming in, and how convenient that guy was murdered and blah, 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 blah. And you're just like, yeah, all right.
So was this one of those things that were like, we can't keep saying cocaine. We can't, keep saying different names because
is this movie rated R by some nerd ass organization? Or, since it's an indie film, is it?
Well, all asylum films are indie films. They're just slightly higher budget versions.
Yeah. So then there was the scene, and like, I don't think Kane would respect it as much as I did, but I love Rampage, dude. I've watched that guy. Like, I've watched every single one of his fights, Yeah. And there's the scene where he walks out of the house looking like a fucking badass with a sword in his hand and everything like that. And I was like, damn, that's hardcore. And then I thought in real life, like, that's fucking kind of weird, man. Like,
okay. Yeah. This was one of those things that was annoying in this movie is there are many people out in the middle of the day doing ninja things in masks and nobody is like, wait, what? Like, there's a guy in a mask.
Yeah, but I mean, that was one of our notes, right, Kane? That we appreciate them breaking into the house at noon because of the lighting and everything like that. But in real life, it's probably not the best choice to do.
Also,
yeah,
they don't have the best security, because I've seen people that have the same security. Because if you look closely to the pictures, there's the like little orange sign that I've seen it before in yards. And it's like one of the cheap securities that normal people have, and they don't
have
even
a $1 billion house.
Security. It's like
look at Simply Safe,
like $5 a month for.
Right.
Yeah. We set it up ourselves.
So then the long-haired guy, he also tries to go out there and just gets his ass whooped so easily. Like, the only thing I was thinking is that Leroy Green would be so mad at him, man.
Yes.
He is not the last dragon at all.
There was so many people breaking in at noon. Like, how many people can break into one house in one day? Like, that's a new world record.
That's what you get for having an 80,000 square foot house. And that's the other thing. If you have an 80,000 square foot house, why does everybody break into the front door?
Yeah.
Like, goddamn. Break in through.
Back door.
Even if you had a back door or a front door, I guarantee there's, I don't know, 75 other windows that you could probably walk through or anything. Dude, and then the front door was always unlocked anyways.
Well, and we'll probably get to this part later, but like when they go back for the final battle, they never change the code.
Kane, what? There was a scene where, what do you call it? After they were talking about their code of living, which was bullshit, she goes in there and the code was 052505. And Kane pointed out, and I don't know if, you know what, Kane, take it over, man.
I don't think that it was true. I wanted to rewatch it, but my dad said it would give us an ad. But I thought that it said the password is so good. But now that I think of it, I think she said the password is still good.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were saying, like, you don't want a calculator. You can put in words.
Oh, like if you, like, sheesh.
That's the only word you know on a calculator?
Yeah.
Let the world know, son. What other words are on calculators? Anyways.
There's no other words on calculators. That's why.
That's good. I can think of a couple. But I thought that he was, the 05, so, and then, all right, never mind. So then she starts talking to the other Onimushas or samurai warriors.
Yeah.
And then there's the scene where she's like, I want you to train me. And they're like, we don't want you to train, blah, blah, blah. And then she comes back, she's like, it's unanimous, 7-0.
God.
You will be trained, and you are the father. And you're just like, oh, fucking big surprise, you know?
Mori.
Yeah. And then it pissed me off so bad when she's like, I did some fencing, and she held a katana. God damn it, Anthony.
Like a fencing sword.
God, that fucking pissed me off. And then the nerve of the other one be like, oh, that was a good strike. No, it fucking wasn't. That's when you know she's lying. I
think I could do better with my, remember those, old katanas that I used to have?
You could do better with your bare hands. But then after that, after she's like, she was probably being, nice,
It's like, good
one
job.
Time,
like you're getting trained by Sensei Mark at the local Y.
Dude.
I love the effort.
But it's 100% ineffective.
Also, you know what else I saw? I saw that every single time it said words like let's, there, your, it.
I think it was just a font.
Can I say it?
Sure.
But what I saw is every single time it said like let's they etc. etc. There was quotations instead of a comma.
So it was just
probably like I
said, it was a font or something, but
every single movie has that font.
Quickie subtitles or like auto subtitles.
It'll buff out, bro.
Yeah, those aren't auto subtitles for sure.
So then, after that sword thing, I do want to say that is the first strike though that you learn after when the strike from top to bottom, the swing, enter like that. That swing was a decent swing. That one was good. But after that, she tried to show her how to do a fighting stance.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
That was the shittiest thing I've ever seen in my life, man. And I've seen shit.
You know what else I saw?
Yeah.
When they were having the meeting with the 4 pillars, the second meeting, the bomb, it was just rigged under the table.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody had a controller. Also,
right. Just in case.
What else? 2 more things, actually. It exploded half of the building, which was, like, the dumbest thing ever. Like, that small little teeny... I think I could buy that.
CGI explosion.
Yeah, that CGI explosion. I think I could buy that from Toys R Us.
We just see Rampage running out of the office building.
What if it wasn't? What if there's like... Sorry, Kane, real quick. What if there's like, Rampage, we get 1 shot. You got to run out of this building and dive because that's fucking imploding at noon, bro. You had to do it all in 1 shot. All right, sorry, Kane, go.
Yeah.
So, you know what I saw? He was like more than halfway across the street, and he just dived for no apparent reason.
Yeah, he was well out of the way.
Yeah, he was well out of the way. Like, also, it was so CGI looking. Like,
it was.
It's like I think I could buy that bomb from Toys R Us and be okay. But
I mean, imagine being the 3 pillars sitting there at the table where there's a bomb under the table, and it's like, it's weird right now that there's a bomb under the table, and we're talking about drugs like this is normal. Like we're just gonna have a bomb that can go off at any time because bombs with timers, it's still a bomb. Like if the temperature changes, that stuff can go off.
No, not in a
like if somebody takes the same what's it called? Like the radio control thing where like the radio sensitivity or something like that.
So she could have done it. Yeah. So then while this is all going on, they're supposed to be doing their montage of training, but clearly it's still 1 day because they're still torturing that guy. You know what I'm saying?
What if they tortured that guy for 4 days straight?
I mean, maybe, but everybody, and this is the part where you see that everybody's breaking in at noon, and I appreciate that, but everybody was just wearing a mask, like a ninja mask. Like, everybody has a ninja mask. Like, during COVID, you know how many stores and banks I got kicked out of because that was my mask of choice? It was a ninja mask. Like, Brian, we know it's you, goddammit, or I see your eyebrows. And they kick me out of the store every time. It's like, we told you, get a fucking, N90 mask. Don't come in here with your bullshit ninja mask trying to fucking karate chop everybody. One
of my friends at school, we were walking out, and it was like, is that your dad?
And then you said, yeah, he's a ninja mask.
Yeah, because he had those brows.
Yeah. So then they did the montage, and this was Kane's favorite part, was when she was like air hitting the bag, like
those control punches.
Could have got you.
Like
I could have got you.
Like
sure enough.
Yeah, like sure.
You want me to go full speed?
Could have got you that time,
dude. Ooh. So then it goes back to
centimeters away.
What at this point, I think that the long-haired guy gets released, and then he gets his ass kicked again and choked out again. Like that's
pretty messed up.
That's got to do something to like your brain. If you get choked out twice in one day,
actually, it was 3 times.
Way too close to the mic, bro.
It was actually 3 times. One by her going to put him in the chair, and then one after the chair, and then one by the Onimusha.
Dude.
I thought that was messed up.
He's the assassin for hire who's just wildly unprepared. He doesn't know what he's doing.
He clearly lied on his resume. And so then, once again, hesitation kicks in. And so they have the shots ready to pop off the mom. And then there's like 4 other assassins that are pointing at him. Oh, I think Kane wanted to say something about the guns. But they hesitate, you know? And you're just like, you have that shot and you're sitting there, you're just like, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 11 Mississippi. And then finally there's like, Rampage comes in and saves the day. You're just like, you had 11 seconds. Like, why didn't you take that shot? Kane?
I realized that all the guns sound the same except the silenced ones. The silenced one was just not that loud. The machine gun. Oh, you know what else?
They were using the sniper rifles.
Yeah. So they were using the they had sniper rifles, and they were using them like AR, like assault rifles.
Yeah.
And they were shooting like assault rifles, like they were full on automatic sniper rifles. Like,
well, I mean, that's not inconceivable. They probably could have like bump stocked it or shaved down.
There's like, here's a shotgun.
Yeah, they could have shaved down the trigger so it doesn't catch.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do that. Yeah.
So then what? We everybody got broken into the house now, right?
Yeah. So now we're in the house. And then after that silly, like, oh, they never changed the password. Like,
yeah.
Like, this is the worst criminal organization ever.
They're too afraid. And then she kills the woman, and she gets the second Infinity Stone. She's ready to roll, right? And then I just kept thinking of the whole thing, like, damn it, Anya, this is your house. Like, what the hell are you doing? And then again, they break into the house, or they just open the front door and go into the house, I mean. Mm-hmm. And there's that beautiful foyer.
Yes.
Right? And then, did you catch this?
A few fights in that foyer.
They all did, like, the multiple Charlie's Angel poses.
Yes.
You know, and there's like...
Which is the silliest thing. Like, you have everybody huddled in one area. So if somebody decided to, like, I don't know, shoot or throw a grenade, they're going to catch all of you because you're stupid and you're in one spot.
So that was another thing where there's like... They don't believe in divide and conquer because they're just like, let's just do this right now. And then they're like, it's an ambush. Take cover. And they run to the center of the foyer.
Yes. Nobody understands. It's like there are 8 of you. You could split up into 4 teams and just wreak havoc on that house.
You know what I don't understand? If it was like our house, Dad, it's a normal sized house, and all of them, they can probably just stay together and do all that stuff. But an 80,000 square foot house,
you need to divide and conquer.
You need to. Like, there's no possible way on planet Earth that you can just do that. And back to your thing where they just run into the middle. They're all just running around in the middle, like twirling in circles, like the freaking ballet group.
Yeah, they didn't know what was going on, man. They were too concerned about posing for Charlie's Angel movie posters. They were like that. And then I think they did finally split up. And after they split up, there was the lock scene, you know, where, again, they could have taken cover to go into the... Oh, wait, before that, there was a scene where they got alerted, where they had been shooting people and nobody got alerted. But then all of a sudden, she threw a knife and hit somebody, and they're just like, "Oh, did you hear that? We need to go do this now." And so then they got alerted because somebody got hit with a knife. No. So then they go to the lock scene. Again, the same thing happened. Where it's like, take cover, we're being shot at. And then she runs into the middle of like an acre wide open yard of grass.
Yeah. You know what else that I noticed?
What?
They're show-offs because they're so rich that, you know, when she was getting carried over the shoulder?
Yeah.
When Anya was getting carried over the shoulder, they're so rich that they have like all the like pass-coded doors like on every single lock instead of just normal locks like ours.
There it is, just in case you have a masturbatorium.
Just in case you have a dead body dead body carried over your shoulder.
And then another thing I didn't understand: assassins. Do assassins work alone?
No. Yes.
No. I thought assassins did. Like, why the hell is Rampage like, "Hey, I need backup"? I'd be like, "You're an assassin, bro.
Yeah.
You work alone."
Okay, yeah,
like,
fair enough.
You don't want anybody to know that you're an assassin.
Because there's a weird line. Yeah.
But then at the same time, what?
I know, I was going to mention, now that you bring that up, there's that weird line where they're like, they make that point where the samurai, they're like, one wolf is dangerous.
Oh God!
A pack of wolves is a dead.
And then if we get all of our cycles lined up, then it's unstoppable.
And it's wedding. No.
Period. And that's the end, right? Good thing pain's only 10.
Okay. So we're going to get to this part, but the part that made me laugh so hard, like I was just laughing out loud, was when Anya and the stepmother are fighting and they block each other's guns and then do the ballet spin with guns.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're trying to make it look like, I don't know, fucking.
This feels unnecessary.
Dude.
We're in a fight.
What the fuck? Like, what the hell? I can't even think of the name of the movie. Fucking.
It feels
Harley
like
Quinn.
It feels like they're trying to like what would John Woo do in this moment?
Right.
We can't afford doves. We can't.
I kept getting so even more pissed off because every single samurai kept getting picked off for doing dumb shit, like running through the yard,
like that girl.
What about the girl that walked into the open area of the living room? That
had guys,
hiding spots.
Are we still fucking breaking into the house? Like samurai kept getting picked off one by one, like fucking hella easy.
They're terrible samurai.
They're getting killed like.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Kane.
That's you, bro. They're getting killed like what?
They're getting killed like me handing out Hershey's Kisses on Halloween.
Dude.
Like, no awareness of space.
No.
Like that girl that died on the pole. Like, I've got this. Like, she thinks that she's got this, but in reality, you don't. So.
Yeah. And then it finally came down to the big reveal where the stepmom was like, guess what? It wasn't Rampage that killed your dad. It was Luna. Luna from freaking.
Luna. Sorry.
What's that cartoon? Luna Girl?
Oh yeah.
PJ Masks.
The PJ Masks.
You know what else?
Luna Girl from PJ Masks is the assassin.
Yes.
Also, Quinn also said that after Quinn said that Luna killed her father, the fight scene of Quinn and Anya was like, "You killed my father," and I'm like,
"Yep, already happened."
Did and then after the fight, she was helping.
Well, because remember, in the rules of life, is that if you kill somebody, somebody gets to have their revenge and gets to fight you. And so I was like, oh God, here it comes, you know.
It's like some weird equivalent exchange, like we're in Full Metal Alchemist.
Like it's on freaking Kill Bill 3, which is supposed to be out fucking 10 years ago.
My dad made a really good point about somebody. So the Onimusha rule is you can't kill somebody that is unarmed. So
that part was so stupid.
That was the dumbest shit I've ever fucking heard.
He kicked the gun out of her hand and tried to do it, and Luna was like, "You can't do it because she's unarmed."
But so you're going to turn your back on somebody who's near their gun,
right?
Or you're going to take the gun, like,
nope.
Or are you going to do like the way that would have been cooler is if they do like the Scream thing where in the second one, Sydney grabs the gun and does like a double shot to the head. Like you weren't expecting her to do that, so it makes it interesting.
No, at the same time, I would have been like, hey, guess what? You just tried to kill me. I just disarmed you, so now I'm going to kill you.
Yes.
Like, it's that easy.
Mother?
You know? But then, I don't remember. I just remember that the Rampage scene, he was fighting him, and then it was just pretty lame how he died. You know? How he got, like, kicked and then stabbed, I think, or something. I don't remember. But, and then there's the poison scene where Anya is now poisoned somehow.
Oh, yes. She gets shot, right? Injection.
Yeah. You're just like, just kiss her already. Like, get over it. You know? And then from that point on, it made it seem like Luna was just a big old skank because she never told anybody all these things about, you know, she's supposed to go in as a pack, but then she assassinated that guy by herself. And then she was poisoned that one time, and then she had to give herself the own antidote. And then, like, all the shit, you're just like, fuck, for a leader, Luna was kind of a fucking skank. Like, she didn't fucking rely on her crew at all. No. But yet, she was giving that girl that hard time, and, like, I support that one now. Because if it wasn't for fucking Anya, all of those women would still be alive. Anya's like, oh, let's just go get my dad's killer, you know?
Anya's eyes were too big for her head.
Yeah. She was so confused. She looked like...
It was ill-planned.
The goddamn gerbil from Bedtime Stories. But
then we get... Then the fight in the courtyard. Which
and see, like, that's the thing that I get so pissed off about, man, is years of training, right? And then all of a sudden this girl goes in there and trains for fucking 4 hours, and then she kills people that have been training for their entire life.
She's Shanice Goodwin. Dude, she can just do it.
You don't know how fun that would possibly be to play hide and go seek in there.
You would never find anybody.
No, ever.
Right?
Like, it's Christmas 2032. You're still here? Like, didn't Brad Pitt? Brad Pitt has that gigantic ass mansion, and fucking he let his maid or his house cleaner or whatever live in the entire other side of his house for free.
Wow.
And you're just like, okay, you never saw him. Dude, if you lived in a 50,000 square foot house and had 4 kitchens and like 80 bedrooms, what the fuck? Somebody can live over there. Like, I can guarantee, I can almost guarantee if I broke into like fucking, I don't know, Will Smith's house, if I never made a joke about his wife, he would never know that I lived there.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like, don't get me wrong. I would love to have a gigantic ass house like that. You know how many soccer balls I'd kick as hard as I could through those hallways?
I know.
Like, hi-ya! And I'd fucking just dominate soccer kicks, man.
Yeah. But so we get the actual reveal that that the stepmother was behind the killing, and she was the one that got her Anya's father killed, and she was an Onimusha, but she wanted to kill somebody in their sleep, so she got kicked out.
What? I missed that.
You missed that?
Yeah. What the hell?
Yeah,
all right.
That was the big twist at the end. That she was an Onimusha, and then they have that big old fight that leads to, like her
being
making, like, you can't kill me. I don't have a weapon. Like,
yeah. I knew that she was the one. I didn't know that she was part of the fucking Onimusha nerds.
Yeah, she was one of them.
I knew that she was part of the Onimusha before, but I didn't know what happened to it.
Oh, all right. Well, maybe that explains why she was able to fuck up that assassin and shit.
Yeah.
All right.
But then the Luna dies because of that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and then you're just like, and then they walk off at the end.
Everybody's really chill about that.
And you're like, guess what? That's your goddamn house.
Yes.
You're going to live there. So what do you do with all those bodies and those bullet holes and everything like that? Like, what the hell? That's your house.
I know.
It takes too much time to clean it, so just sell it. It's worth it.
Dude.
Just keep the change to the person who
you're gonna need some liquid drywall. But I mean,
you need to patch it work for sure. But then at the same time, it's not
some patch.
Clearly not a fucking safe neighborhood. No, because how many shots were shot and not a single police officer showed up?
Everybody's like, "Oh, that's the cocaine dealer."
Like, oh, don't worry about him.
Across the street, they're way more chill.
That's just Carl. Like, and the whole time I kept thinking, like, damn it, that is your house.
Yes.
Like, hey, I'm going to come in here real quick. I'm going to shower. Yeah.
So you're not going to stay and like just clean up the bodies?
How hard do you think it is? You know what I'm saying?
It's like hide and go. It's like hide and go die.
There was like 80 people in there that got shot and killed.
I know.
Everybody's
just being careless too.
Everyone's like, oh, forget this. And then like the foyer. Well, I mean, if you think about it, there is only like 2 places that need to be cleaned up. The foyer was the big one, and then the backyard and the wide open yard.
And the hallways, because some people got shot up in the hallways.
Oh, yeah. And those nerds that like suck their head around the corner like, hey, is anybody over here? Boom. And then they get shot.
But, okay, the one girl who walks out into the living room, like, she doesn't even stick her head out. She literally just keeps
walking. Everybody, what's going on? Are we still fighting?
My name's Carl.
It's like 4 people with guns are hiding in that room with multiple places to hide.
It's like, hey, guys, they got a sauna out back. Boom, 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 boom. Oh. Shot.
Oh, my God. Okay, so that's more or less that's the movie. Oh wait,
yeah, pretty much.
The ending. Months later, she has spent the bulk of her
god damn it,
inheritance on the 7 Samurai Training Center to make more members of the Onimusha.
So then when you sign up for a martial arts class, you go, hey, what are you training? Oh, we used to be assassins who killed hundreds of people back in the day. I'd be like, what? He's like, that's our origin story. I'd be like, so is this going to get shut down by the FBI pretty quick, or do I got to do a first and last month's deposit?
Yeah. What's your refund policy?
Exactly. How does this work? But at the same time, if you think about it, if you just say, look, you just come here, montage with us for 4 hours, and then you're good.
Yeah.
But that 4 hours is $50,000.
Take it to the limit.
That's all you need is 4 hours with these 7 chicks.
We'll get Joe Bean to show
up. But then at the same time,
and sing "You're the Best."
Who were the ones that survived? Snow White and then one other girl. That other girl, was she even legit?
She's the one that got shot in the stomach in the living room.
Yeah, okay. So then I'm pretty sure that she shouldn't be a teacher.
And she knows more about being an Onimusha than Anya does.
Wasn't there only like 2 Asian girls in that entire fucking thing?
Yes.
Maybe 2. I have swords.
Want me to pull one out?
Dude. But all right, then.
Okay, so before we go, I have a question. because we kind of have two similar characters this month from different movies. If you have to fight somebody in a battle to the death, and you're picking somebody you think you can beat, is it Rampage as his character in this movie, or Sho'nuff?
Are we based on movies?
Only what happened in the movie. So not Rampage's UFC career.
Yeah, and then hand-to-hand combat, or because here's the thing.
All out.
No, because Rampage shot up a couple people. And he did that double pop.
Yeah.
So Rampage knows how to use a gun.
Yeah.
But when it came time for the hand-to-hand combat, he kind of didn't use his real life.
I'm going to say hand-to-hand combat because Sho'nuff never used a gun.
Okay, so then hand-to-hand combat, I'd fight fucking Rampage in the movie. Based off of his movie.
Well, yeah.
Based off the movie.
I'm going to have to go with Rampage, too. Yeah, because I don't know if I can handle the glow.
Yeah. But if it was based off of their characters, I'd fight Sho'nuff because Rampage fucking knew how to use the weapons.
Well, Sho'nuff was more of a brawler. He just kind of... Yeah. He looked like they're having like a WWE street fight.
Mm-hmm. So I'd go hand-to-hand combat. I'd go Rampage. Off of characters, I'd rather fight Sho'nuff.
Okay. I don't know if Kane saw both.
I don't think Kane saw The Last Dragon.
Okay.
I tried to get him to, but shit'll buff out.
It's okay. All right. Well,
that's almost the end of this episode because this drink is almost ended.
Well, thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you next month when we do the Fast and the Futile. I mean, the Fast and Furious.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, we release one of these episodes every month, bro, Chacho. All right, Kane, how can people follow you?
Instagram page.
Instagram at Kane Did It.
Kane's World. Kane Did It.
This Kane's World.
This Kane's World.
All right. Do not follow him home from school. Right?
Yeah.
That's probably no good.
All
right, then. And with that, should we say something like, "We salute you"? No.
we appreciate your donations to the cause of berating. So thank you very much.
Yeah, of B-rated, not rated B, like a fucking nerd.
Yeah, berated, anyway. B-rated.
All right. Thanks,
Later.
everybody.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Everything gets berated. No one is underrated. From the screen to the stage, we set the new cage. No mercy.